Philadelphia this weekend may be consumed with the Eagles and the Giants, but before you get to Sunday, you had a big basketball game with Villanova at home on Saturday. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com. The Wildcats hosting Rick Pitino and Louisville Saturday afternoon at noon. Let's bring in CBS College Sports' Steve Lappas to break this game down. And Steve, let's start with Villanova and Jay Wright. He hasn't needed it much this season, and he hasn't had much of it this season. But when he had to have it Tuesday, he got a lot out of Scotty Reynolds, a huge performance, 40 points. Do you think he needs to be doing that more often this season in terms of, for this team to be consistent, he has to score more?
I don't know if he's got to score more. I think he's got to be more effective at what he's doing, because he is shooting just under 40% for the year, which is, kind of low for him because he's a very good player. He shoots a ton of free throws. His three-point shooting isn't bad, but it seems like his two-point game hasn't been up to snuff. If he does what he's doing now and just converts a little bit more, I think that would make a big difference. But with Dante Cunningham coming on so strong this year, it's taken a little bit of the heat off Scotty Reynolds.
Well, the problem, though, for Villanova, a little bit, Corey Fisher and Corey Stokes have not been consistent like they have needed. Meanwhile, for Louisville, a lot expected this year, Steve, because they were top 5 preseason. You have home losses to Western Kentucky, a recent home loss to UNLV. You had that loss against Minnesota out there in Arizona. Do you feel like something is missing from this squad? Well,
there's definitely something missing, and I think they really are one of the more disappointing teams up until this point. Now, last year, they were also disappointing up until this point and to make it to the Final 8. Let's say that. I think the thing that's been missing has been missing for 2 years. They don't have consistent point guard play. And for Rick Pitino, who wants to put pressure, he needs someone, if they want to play in transition, he needs somebody that's going to be able to run this tempo, get the ball to where it needs to be. And I think between Sosa and Jerry Smith, they really have not come up with a guy that can get it done for them on a regular basis. I think that's where their problem lies more than anywhere else right now.
And you pointed it out, Smith just 19 assists in 13 games. That's not good for a point guard who's starting every other game, as Louisville is rotating starting point guards each game. But they do have the advantage in the front court in almost any game they're going to play. When you look at Williams and Clark and Samuels, the freshman, on paper it looks like they should dominate this game as well in the middle.
Well, it looks that way. Now, Samardo Samuels has been great. He averages 13 a game, but he's been down a little bit lately. In that UNLV game, only scored 6 points. So they have a very good front line. Except for Samuels, there's more athleticism than there is strength, and that kind of matches up well for Villanova.
And you talked about Dante Cunningham, of course. The other part to that is Antonio Pena. All right, Steve, what's your key to this game, and who's your winner?
Well, I think Villanova is going to win the game. I think they're going to get good play from Scotty Reynolds, and I think either Stokes or Fisher will play well enough. I think the key to the game is going to be for Villanova to keep pressure on Louisville, which they will, because they're small and they like to press you, and I think that's going to be the biggest key.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out Saturday at noon Eastern. Steve Lappas, thank you very much, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, folks, for more on this game or any other this weekend, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Steve Lappas, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.